All right, welcome back for another installment of the Chris Horner Video Diaries. Chris, we got a lot to talk about today. Today's the day on the cobbles. Today everyone's been talking about. Yesterday, as you were just saying, mass chaos on the Stakho.
Yeah.
I want to hear how your back is doing. Where should we start?
Wow, I guess we start with yesterday's stage at the finish coming down the descent of the Stakho was just crazy, just bodies everywhere. And I don't mean, normally we see a big pile, you got 20, 30, 40 guys piled up. Here it was just bodies all the way down the road, in the bushes, bikes that were a football field length down the road. I had bikes, literally, guys that crashed in front of me. I'm slowing down, and I had bikes coming by me with no rider sliding by me faster than I was going. It was unbelievable. And so I stopped when I saw that Lance had crashed, helped Lance out. We got going again, next corner, bodies everywhere. And I mean left side of the road, center of the road, right side of the road, out in the bushes, everywhere. It's unbelievable. And so by the time we got down to the descent, was more just trying to find out what was going on. So the radio's going crazy with everyone talking and yelling and trying to figure out everything. And then we hit the last climb before the finish, and calmness just came back. The front group stopped the racing. They sat up. They waited for everyone to come together, regrouped, rode easy into the finish, and nobody sprinted for not even the green jersey points. So it was quite a strange stage. I don't know if it was more of a protest or more of just... it's definitely a protest in some degree of about how dangerous the stage was, but it really wasn't talked about amongst the riders. It just happened.
Well, it looked like Cancellara played a pretty big role in that. He sort of took, as the yellow jersey, and obviously with both the Schleck brothers behind, kind of took it upon himself to be the spokesman for at least the front group. You've been in the sport a long time. I mean, whether you call it a protest or a gentleman's agreement, I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, first off, I don't see any difference from yesterday's stage to today's stage, because no one's going to stop today when we go through the pave and there's a big crash or you flat or you break your wheel. No one's going to stop and wait for you today, so why stop and wait yesterday? And yesterday's stage is less dangerous than today's stage. So I don't understand. Now I fully support that we shouldn't be up here doing these classic roads in the Tour de France to begin with. Be sure, I don't agree with doing these stages during the Tour de France. These are lovely one-day races, but I don't agree with them during the Tour de France. But I also don't understand how you protest yesterday's stage and then you ride through the cobbles today. So I'm a little lost there.
Well, could the argument be made that yesterday there were so many guys down from every team that it was pretty easy to make an agreement? Hey, look, we've all got people back there, whereas on the pavé, it's a little bit more random, a little bit, no?
I think yesterday was going to be the good day. Today, it's going to be the carnage.
Now, you said after the stage yesterday, you didn't feel that you should be racing on roads like that. However, it was, or at least during the Tour de France. However, it was a unique situation with the motorcycle going down, spilling oil on the road, and the rain.
No, we crashed before the motorcycle crashed. The first crash came before the motorcycle. The second crash came with the motorcycle.
So it's not just a perfect storm of bizarre events that created that.
Oh, no. Just like the Tour of Spain last year, when we started up in this area, there was multiple crashes. If it rains and we're in the northern classic roads, we are going to crash. Now, can they have bike races up here and put us on a larger road or something and make it a little safer? Certainly, and then we can race up here. But they want to bring us up here and they want us to ride these same roads that we do in the classics, and that's what's causing the damage. And there's a reason why you see those crashes in the classics. And now there's even more crashes because the Tour is just that much more important. It's not one day you're giving up. You're giving up 3 weeks. You're giving up life's dream at the Tour de France if you sit up on these stages. And so the stress and the fighting is going to be more intense than it is in the one-day races.
Well, speaking of crashes, you didn't go down yesterday. You did go down at that pile up in Brussels in the final kilometer. You said you wrenched your back. You've had a little more time, and usually you can kind of tell at this point if it goes one way or the other, if it's going to hurt more or less. Where are you at?
I think it's certainly getting better, so it's not going to go backwards unless there's some other mishap going on sometime during the race today, but
which is very possible.
It definitely is. Anything is possible today. So if I can avoid any more crashes and stuff, the back's going to be fine. It's sore right now, even while we're doing the interview, but it's going to be all right as long as I can avoid anything strange happening.
Yeah. Well, you've already talked about the cobbles, and that was going to be my last question. Your opinion of the stage in terms of how it goes down. Do you think we're going to see one or more GC favorite lose any chance of winning the Tour de France today?
Yes. We saw it yesterday. We're going to see at least one or two more guys today. Certainly, I understand Gesink has some problems with his arm. Something's broken or fractured or something. His GC hopes are over today. He can start today. I know he's just trying to man up and start today, but his GC hopes are over. There's no way you're going over those the cobbles with something broken in your arm and not lose at least 5 or 10 minutes. So certainly he's going to have a problem. Someone else is going to crash and lose 5 or 10 minutes. And
it's going to be tough for Levi as well. I mean, he hurt his wrist 2 days ago, and of all the injuries, with the exception of maybe the ribs, the wrist is something you really need on those cobblestones.
Yeah, you're going to need it, for sure. You're going to need everything on the cobblestones today. So you're going to see one or two GC guys, for sure, I think, lose some time. I think Lance truly stands the best of the GC guys. He certainly has a couple more kilos than the other smaller guys, and this stage is going to benefit him a little more. Also, he has a little bit more respect and power in the field to move around with a little more safety, with just a couple more inches of space on each side of him than most of the other riders will get to. Could he possibly crash? Absolutely. But I think he stands the highest odds. He's got the house odds on his side today to make it through the cobblestones in the front group, versus the rest of the guys are going to always be a couple numbers behind.
Last question, I'll let you go, I promise. But I am wondering, on a stage like today, you talk about Lance, we talked about Levi. I mean, do you have a role? Do they say, look out for Lance, look out for Levi, this is where we need you to be, or is it just every man for himself? Or?
No, Lance is... I was at the front when the crash happened yesterday and could have easily made it through and been in the front group with Claude there, but as soon as I saw Lance on the side of the road, I stopped and waited for Lance. He is our leader. Certainly Claude, Levi, if they can stay in the front group and Lance has a problem, I think it's better that they stay in the front group rather than wait, as long as there's somebody near Lance. So my job, though, not today, hopefully, but my job definitely in this tour is to look after Lance.
All right, well, Chris, we'll be watching closely. We hope you make it safely to the finish so we can talk to you again tomorrow morning.
Thanks.